kimchi.
Hey everybody, today we're going to take this collard greens that I grew in my aquaponic system and we're going to make kimchi out of it. This will be my first time I've ever made kimchi, so I don't know how it's going to turn out, but we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. Okay, so we got these collard greens here from my aquaponic system. And we need to remove this heavy vein that's going down the middle here. There's two ways you can do this. You can take your knife and you can just run down both sides of the vein. Careful not to cut yourself or anything. And remove that vein. The other way we can do this is to fold that in half like that and just cut down the vein. And remove that vein. All right, so we're gonna roll these up and we're gonna cut this into about 1-inch pieces. We're just gonna cut that. We're gonna give it a chop down the middle here. I'll just put it in that bowl. So now we're going to give this thing a good wash. We're just going to clean this up real good, as you should do all your outside vegetables. And as we wash it here, we're going to kind of break it up a little bit. We're going to give this a good squeeze. Kind of start breaking down the cell membranes and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and use this Himalayan salt here because this is what I have on hand. We're gonna put about 1/4 cup of it directly on. We're gonna kind of massage that in a little bit. And the reason for the salt is to start breaking down the membranes and to get a little bit of the juice out of the collard greens. We'll just make sure we get it good mixed in, and then we're going to let this sit for about an hour. And in the meantime, while this is doing its thing, we're going to make the sauce and get the carrots and stuff ready also. You can see it's starting to change color a little bit. And it's already getting a lot of juice out of it, so there we go. Ready? Cut. Okay, so normally you would use green onions or spring onions. These are Walla Wallas that I have from my garden. They're just a few of them that were overly crowded, so we're going to use these. All we're going to do is, like you would any other onion, we're just going to chop that root off. And we're going to chop it up. We'll take this and we'll add it to the bowl. Okay, so we got 2 peeled carrots And I've never julienned anything, so I'm going to try to julienne these things. I'm going to cut it in half. And we're just going to make thin strips out of it. Careful not to cut yourself. I'm sure one of you guys know how to do this better than me, so why don't you go ahead and make a comment down below on how I should be doing this properly. We're going to add it to the bowl. My wife didn't like the way I was julienning these, so she did it for me. But this is what you're looking for, just kind of basically a really fine carrot stick. So we're going to take these and put them in the bowl. And then we're going to go ahead and make our kimchi sauce. All right, so we're going to make the kimchi sauce now. We're going to add our ginger. Use an elephant garlic. Now, for whatever reason, every time I grow these, I get a single bulb. If any of you guys know why that is, comment below. But this is an elephant garlic. And an apple, whatever your preferred apple is. And about a quarter cup of Korean pepper flakes. You can't use anything else, they taste completely different. So we'll put that in there. We'll put the lid on. And we're going to grind this into a paste. We'll try this again. We went until we got a nice smooth consistency. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is rinse off all the salt. Look how much liquid got separated from this, and the actual texture of the leaves have changed. They're much softer now. So let's go ahead and rinse that off. Supposedly, if it comes out salty, you didn't rinse it good enough. So we're going to give this a really good rinse. Just the volume, how much smaller, more. It's really broken down quite a bit already. And we'll just go ahead and put it back in this large bowl. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add the carrots and onions to this bowl. We'll give it just a little bit of a stir. Boy, that looks pretty good already. Well, you can certainly tell which ones I did and which ones she did. All right, so now we're gonna add the kimchi sauce. Now, it's recommended that if you don't use a spoon, that you wear gloves, because apparently this stuff will make your hands tingle a little bit. So we're just gonna put that in. We're gonna use a spoon. And we wanna get this all mixed in really good, so it's covering as much stuff as we can get. We're just gonna keep going until we got it really well covered. Boy, look at that. Doesn't that look nice? That really looks good. Okay, so the last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stuff the jar. I'm gonna attempt to do this with the spoon. And that attempt is over. You get this stuff on your hands, don't get it in your eyes. Okay, so we'll just keep filling this jar. We want to get this stuff in as tight as you can. We're going to take this, and we'll squish it down in there. You're trying to get all the air bubbles out. Loosely put the lid on. Wipe it down. We don't want to put the lid on too tight because we're not trying to make a bomb here. So this is kimchi made with collard greens. We'll be trying this here in about a week. We're going to ferment this for a week and we'll see how this goes. My understanding is there'll be some natural bubbles that'll start forming in here. That's the fermentation. That's perfectly normal. Don't worry about it. We got all the air out. You can see there's really tightly packed in there. That's what we want. This is basically just like making sauerkraut, but you're using different spices and stuff. So there you go. Have a great day, and we'll try this next week. Okay guys, it's been 1 week. Let's open this up and see what we wound up with here. All right, from the top it looks pretty good. It smells a little bit on the, almost like a sauerkraut or something, which I expected. What do you think, Tina?
No. I'm not that courageous.
I wanted you just to smell it. Doesn't smell too bad.
No.
All right, so she's not so courageous, but I'm gonna go for it. So that's what it looks like. It's spicy. Crunchy. I like it. It's not half bad. This isn't too bad. I would say this is a keeper, guys. I could see putting this in like a ramen soup or anything that needed a little bit of a kick, kind of an Asian-y type kick to it. Yeah. Collard green kimchi. I'd say that's a keeper. All right, I think you're going to enjoy this next part. It's a historical news article. The day Prohibition is going into effect, January 17th, 1920. Pretty cool stuff. Enjoy.
America Dry Tonight. From The Guardian Unlimited, dated January 17, 1920. Recorded for LibriVox.org by Leanne Howlett. Free wines and spirits last night. New York, Friday. 1 minute after midnight tonight, America will become an entirely arid desert as far as alcoholics are concerned, any drinkable containing more than half of 1% alcohol being forbidden. Excessive fines and dungeon keeps yawn for transgressors of this drastic federal law. Even persons returning home with small flasks of stimulants in their pockets would be amenable to the law. The provisions of the 18th Amendment to the Constitution of the country really became effective at midnight yesterday. But in order that there should be no dispute, the federal authorities delayed their operation until tonight at midnight, as a result of which the demon rum, as it is facetiously termed, held full sway yesterday evening. Many of the most popular restaurants here and throughout the country last evening ceremoniously waked the demise of alcohol, some giving the diners free portions of whiskey, brandy, and wine, but charging goodly proportions over the usual tariffs for food and "good service." At other places plenty of clients were willing to pay for the privilege of whetting their thirst at $20 to $30 for a bottle of champagne, or $1 to $2 for a drink of whiskey. At several places coffins were carried throughout the rows of diners to the accompaniment of dirges. At some restaurants the walls and ceilings were hung with crape. Several famous restaurants had placards bearing the words, "Exit booze. Doors close on Saturday." End of article. This recording is in the public domain.